Hi guys, you're welcome again to another episode on Senator Kelesi and you. And if you're new to my channel, please hit the subscribe button and also share my videos, comment on them, and send a like when you watch them. And on today's episode on Senator Kelesi and you, we are going to discuss SCHUFA and what exactly SCHUFA is. For those who are living in Germany and those who are planning to come to Germany, you've probably heard something about SCHUFA. And sometimes it gets very confusing. People don't know what it is, and most people just know that they need to provide a SCHUFA statement and they never ask questions. And today we want to explain it so that you can understand it better. What is SCHUFA actually all about? SCHUFA is just the German version of credit score. Credit score. And in Germany, it is managed by a private company which is called SCHUFA Holding. And this is all about trying to see how reliable you are in paying your debts and in managing your debts. So this is what you have to understand about SCHUFA. So you can think about SCHUFA like financial reputation. Financial reputation. Can somebody actually trust you with handling money? And so if you are in Germany and you want to find a house, you are looking for a house, the landlord will probably ask you for a SCHUFA statement. If you are going for a bank loan, the bank will probably have to check your SCHUFA statement. And many other situations, maybe even in some cases, if you want to get a phone contract, some of the providers will ask for a SCHUFA statement because they want to be sure that you are that person who reliably pay your bills and not somebody who runs away from bills. So that is what SCHUFA is all about and what you should understand in Germany about SCHUFA. Now, how does SCHUFA actually work? This is something that you and I need to understand such that we don't run into problems. The point here is that most expats come to Germany and they get trapped, they get caught up with SCHUFA. How does this actually work? From 2026, what you should understand is that SCHUFA has been updated such that it is very transparent and you can understand it easily. Now, unlike in the US, that the SCHUFA starts with a very low score and then you build it up. In Germany, your SCHUFA starts between 95 to 97%. And once you do something bad, in quotes, like maybe not paying bills or so, you lose a point and then it begins going down. That is the first thing you should understand about how SCHUFA works. The second thing that you should understand about SCHUFA is an aspect of stability. When looking at your SCHUFA, they try to check the algorithm will reward you if you're more stable. If you have registered one address and you stay in that address for so long, you are stable. If you have one bank account and you stick to that bank account, you are stable. So the algorithm will reward you for being stable in your address and in your banking. These are very essential because that will mean that you can easily be tracked. And the next thing here about how SCHUFA works is that also, like I already mentioned, the simplification of SCHUFA from 2026. It is now checking the oldest credit card you own, how long you've held onto this credit card and how you have been using it. That is one thing that they are checking for, the algorithm will check for. And also, it will check for the number of active loans you have. Now, I already mentioned the fact that you should stick to a bank account such that they can know this is your operational bank account. If you have multiple bank accounts and then you have loans from different banks in different bank accounts, then these are active loans. And if you are not paying them on time, they are going to affect your SCHUFA score. These are the points that you need to note on how SCHUFA operates. When many people come here, their actions accidentally kill their SCHUFA. I say accidentally because many of them do so. Many of us do so without knowing. And now I am going to talk about some SCHUFA killers. That is some of your credit score killers. Certain things that when you do, they can ruin your credit score. And the first one here is having too many bank accounts. You know, some people come here And instead of creating one bank account and sticking to them, they know that, of course, they hear that, of course, they can create free online. I say free in quotes because they are not always actually free online bank accounts. And you see one person having like 4 different bank accounts. When you have too many bank accounts, the algorithm will sense that you're probably unstable or you are juggling between loans if you're having many bank accounts at the same time. The one little thing that can actually be a killer to your SCHUFA score is if you don't pay small bills. When I say small bills here, I am referring to something like maybe TV tax of 18 euros per month, or maybe even talk of a bill of about 5 euros that you didn't pay, or 15 euros telephone bill that you did not pay. This, when you consistently don't pay your bills, this can actually kill your SCHUFA score. So when you are here, if you are living here and you want to maintain a good SCHUFA, so much such that if you were going to look for a house somewhere, the landlord will know that this person is stable. You have a positive score. You need to be sure that you pay your bills, even as little as 10 euros. Another thing that is a killer to your SCHUFA score is if you are constantly changing your address, your registered address. If, for example, in 1 year you move your address like 3 times, the algorithm or the system will sense this as a risk. And why is it sensing it as a risk? It shows that you are difficult to track. And if you are difficult to track, it could also mean that you are escaping from loans or escaping from bills. And that alone can put your SCHUFA in the negative, which will mean that if you want to do something and you need maybe money from the bank will think you are not a trustworthy person. If you are now looking for a house subsequently, a landlord will feel that this person is not trustworthy. He's always moving. If you are maybe you want to sign a contract, a phone contract, the company may refuse. So these are some of the things that can actually destroy your SCHUFA, and you should take note. And now, moving to the last part of our discussion today is how to keep a healthy SCHUFA. How to keep a healthy SCHUFA. And the first thing you should do here is immediately you move to Germany, register your address. Because when you register your address, the company already gets the information, they receive the information, and they can already start processing, meaning that everything you do with regards to bills from that time will be tracked. And remember, I said that when you start in Germany, you're starting between 95 to 97% SCHUFA score. And then if you do something wrong, then it is dropping. So when you come to Germany, first thing is to register your address. The second thing here is open a bank account and stick to it. Open a bank account and stick to it. I am not a financial expert, but what I am saying here is that with respect to SCHUFA, if you have your main bank account, which you came here and opened, and that is the one you use for your transactions, for your salary, for anything you do, for paying your bills, make sure that you are not changing this bank account. Because if you change this bank account, the system already senses that there is a problem and your SCHUFA score will start suffering. The last thing here is that you should pay your bills promptly. Pay your bills promptly. Don't neglect a bill that it is a small bill. That is very bad and it is going to ruin your SCHUFA. One thing people do not know here is that if you avoid a bill, if you escape from a bill, nobody cares. They keep the bill. After some time, they send you the bill with a penalty. If you don't pay, they send another one with a penalty. If it stays for 1 year, they are now going to send it for revenue recovery. And when they send it to revenue recovery, that has already significantly destroyed your SCHUFA, which means you cannot be trusted with money. And anywhere you go to, maybe looking for a house or doing anything like I already mentioned, you're already in problems. And again, just to remind us that this is Senator Kelesi and you. And if you're new to my channel and you're learning these lessons, please just subscribe, hit the subscribe button, share my videos, and also comment when you watch them. Thank you very much for following today's episode on Senator Kelesi and you.